Okay, just had a quick coffee break. We're on to the second picture now, but just before we start, I want to show you a little project I've been working on. So this is my 51 Mercury. I've owned it for about 30 something years. The whole time it's had a drum brake front end in it, no power steer, so it's time for an update. So I've just taken the whole front end out and we've got a new disc brake front end there to fit in. It's going to be a dream to drive. I've done a lot of miles in this baby over the years, but it's going to be a lot better to drive with power steer and disc brakes. Let's get back to it, eh? So this time I'm going to turn the girl into a guy, but I'm going to make him a zombie chief, or a zombie priest, what should I say. So I still like the idea of the hat. Let's give him a bowler hat. Bowler hat is like the bowler, I guess. We'll bring the hat right down over his eyes. Probably time to introduce a few more skulls into the project. We'll give him a lot of attitude. He's a priest, he's a zombie priest, he's not very happy. Boy, he got attitude in a hurry, didn't he? Let's give him a pierced nose with a bone through his nose. Ho ho. Change his lip into a more masculine lip. Put his jaw down squarer. Less neck. Thicker neck. And I think we'll do him holding a, let's do him holding a shrunken head. He's just done a little bit of cooking and cooked himself up a shrunken head. They used to take the headhunters used to take the skull out of the head and boil it. Sew all the cavities shut. Boil away. Hell of a hobby, I suppose, shrinking heads, but I don't think there was. I think there was more than a few tribes or people who did it too. So. Just darken up the face a little. A few more feathers, match in with his queen. I want to try linking these two together, so I'm just going to, I think the best way will be a bit of smoke. I'll try and bring some, over the 6, I'll try and bring something into the background that ties it all together. So this one I think we'll probably do some bottles of, some potions that he uses for head shrinking up on some sort of shelf. We'll do some cool old style bottles up on the shelf is the background. Probably some snake poison. Some snake oil. I think maybe a candle here that can be blowing smoke up. That's what we can do. We can put a candle in here. That'll be a nice way of letting some smoke trickle up there, and maybe some vapor out of these bottles. Shade behind them. I think I'm going to come in now with a bit of, I guess any medicine man should have a fair few bottles of medicine in his kit. I'll do it. I'll do a big sucker back here. Probably full of eyeballs, I'd say. So I'll do the smoke trickling around here from the candle. Okay, so let's give him a coat. But let's give him a bolo, a skull bolo. I guess I could always see how many skulls I could fit into the one painting. That'd be fun. Some piercings, I'll give him some piercings through his ear. Okay, I'm going to come in with a bit of white now and we'll detail this up some. I'm going to do a jeweled piece on his hat, and we'll do a reflection of a skull in the middle one, I think. And then we'll do a gator skin hat band for him. Okay, we're going to go with a bit of black now. we'll start, I think we'll start with a candle. Or wax. Wax dripping down. Erase some of the background out with my eraser, which is just one of the base colours. Okay, we'll work up here in the middle for a little bit. Darkening the eyes. Give them a bit of age. I'm going to come with a bit of white now because I'm getting ahead of myself with the detail here. So I'm going to go back to some white so we can get some detail in the candle, the shrunken head, especially this hand here because I've just freehanded that in. I want to tidy that up a bit, and so I'm happy with that. I don't want to get too far ahead of the rest of the painting when I haven't finished the basic layout yet. But it's fun. Okay, he's going to be holding his hand up with the shrunken head in it. So his thumb's obviously going to be here, holding by the hair, and his other finger will be here, and the other fingers will come in behind that. So there is where the hair will be. coming down. Then his arm will be in the background. So I'm just going to sketch that in the grey and make sure it's looking alright, and then when I'm happy with it, I'll come back in and darken it up. So we've got the thumb there, and we've got a finger here. The arm there. And I think that's pretty much proportionate for him. So let's run with that with the shrunken head. Might be his cousin he's shrunk. He's got the matching bone in the nose. The shrunken head thing was big in the hot rod community. There's shrunken head gear knobs, shrunken head hanging off rear vision mirrors. I don't really understand the connection, but it's a pretty cool look. And of course his hand's going to be a lot more weathered than that beautiful princess up there. So. Very weathered from boiling heads. I think I might do a bigger shrunken head as one of the other heads on the totem. Nice addition and keeping in the theme of the whole painting. What a looker, what a looker. This sort of stuff to do is so much fun because you can just keep adding and adding to it. I do like to work reasonably quick on these, and I find myself thinking of another idea before I've even finished this idea, so it's a bit hard on me sometimes. But the fun thing about this is I'm going to be thinking about the next head below this one while I'm doing this one. So I'm really thinking about doing a crazy zombie that these two instigators have made between the Queen and the priest. They've cooked up a zombie. I think I'll do him with a bit of DK and breakdown of his body, because I guess he's been alive for a few years too, so we'll have to give him some sort of decay. We'll do the gator skin, darken it a little bit. I actually had to make steel crocodile skin for a bike we built for Steve Irwin, so I made a die on the Pullmax machine to stamp out crocodile scales, and I made a crocodile head and a few other panels out of steel, and then airbrushed them like they were crocodile. It was a pretty crazy bike, had a big crocodile tail. Lives in Sydney now. Friend who's got a collection of few of the bikes I've built, but it's down in Sydney. He takes it to the shows every now and again. We'll do some beads. And some feathers. Put a feather in his hat. Couple of bottles. I'm guessing some of these might have some moonshine in them, being from the southern parts. I think just by using this smoke it's going to blend it together pretty easily. I might run some beads down here like they're hanging, should I? I'll think about that later when I turn it all together. So smoke from the candle's going to weave. I'm going to do weaving in and out of these feathers. And then it'll come up here and be blowing around behind him. Maybe a little bit of vapour out of one of the bottles leaking out. Call the doctor. Who's that? Gotta wonder how many of the old medicine men, and I guess the Aborigines had medicine men too, knew what they were doing back in the day. I guess a lot of our medicine is organically based, so maybe they knew what they were doing. Probably a lot more than some of the doctors these days. I don't mean that. Most doctors are great. I'm keeping it very dark. Okay, I think we're ready for a bit of white. Let's darken him up a bit before we lighten him up. Okay, we're going to go with some white highlights now. We'll start from the top this time. So I want this smoke to go up into there without doing too much smoke into her. So under that feather, over that feather, under that feather, and the flame. A bit of dripping wax. Edge of the hat, the top edge of the feather, top edge of the feather, top edge of the feather, a few of the beads, top of the hat band, a bit of light this way from the candle, I'm guessing. And of course, got my light source a little mixed up there, but we'll make it work. A little bit more smoke. Some of the vapour. gator skin. Do a little light here and I'll bring a bit more onto his face. Just bead up his hat a little. Okay, let's move it up a bit and I'll do the lower half. Okay. A little bit of black and I call this one ready for the next one. I'm just going in and just softening the harsh whiteness, the harsh white lines. Just giving it a second go around. Some of the white lines are a bit too harsh, so we'll just run over them again with the black and crispen them up again. Running this down with a lot of black here will make it easier to blend the next picture in, which I guess is going to be a zombie. Soften that out a little. So I think that looks pretty cool at the moment. So we're ready to do number 3. If you like what we're doing, all these paintings are going to be available on my website. So get in early and don't miss out. And don't forget to like and subscribe.